we kind of know that these days AI are becoming more agentic. We are having more software that are becoming more autonomous. Agents can now book hotels, pay for APIs, or even hire other AI agents. Why do we need a new kind of financial system for these AI agents? Can't they simply use the existing financial system that we human currently use?
Merchants typically need to wait a few days, in some cases even weeks, right, to receive the payment. That's because typically the infrastructure and also like the settlement layer, right, occurs through many different providers, and it occurs fees as well, and also delays and time, right, in between. So that obviously from a merchant's point of view, right, is cash flow that is not available immediately. So merchants want instant settlement. If we have this infrastructure that allows agents to execute end-to-end payments and be recognized as a legitimate actor in the agentic internet on your behalf, then it can truly be your personal assistant, right? Your secretary. We need identity, we need the infrastructure, we need payments for machines to act on your behalf. I think the design philosophy is just like ease of use. When we think about product, one of the big things that we always have to think about is also distribution. We think about how do you distribute through the most widely used and highest growth products in history, ChatGPT. Skills.
Hi everyone, my name is ORV from SCBX. I work in marketing and tech intelligence team, and we do track emerging technologies. And one of the emerging theme happening this year is about agentic payment and agentic commerce. And we are so happy to have Henry Wee here with us. Henry has spent a lot of time in this stream, and how about you share a little bit about yourself, Henry, and what is the company Kite that you are working at right now?
Sure, yeah, I'll do a little bit of introduction for myself. My name's Henry. I've been in both the blockchain space and also the AI space since 2017. Started off by doing work in Oxford University, doing decentralized and distributed machine learning training. And then also got into autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars as a machine learning engineer back in the day in 2018 to like 2020. Was working for my professor basically from Oxford University. And then after that also started a company in the intersection of blockchain and AI, raised funds, did that for a few years, and then was also head of Solana for Malaysia, founder of Super Team Malaysia for a year doing incubation. And then right now I'm doing all sorts of things, mainly infrastructure, product, ecosystem build BD for Kite. What Kite is a Series A company. We're mostly backed by Coinbase Ventures, PayPal Ventures, and for those of you who know Silicon Valley, General Catalyst as well, one of the top tier VCs in Silicon Valley, amongst many others like 8VC as well. So Kite is a Series A company based off San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and what we do is we're building the agentic future. So we build infrastructure for the agentic future, which includes payments, settlement, and control layers as well, and governance layers. So that's what the company is doing, and really glad to be here and to share about our work and also how we see the space with everybody.
Yeah, thank you. So that's a very impressive work background that you have, and also what Kite is currently building. Before we jump into Kite product itself, I would like to talk a little bit about the theme today, which is about financial system for AI agents. So we kind of know that these days AI are becoming more agentic. We are having more software that are becoming more autonomous. Agents can now book hotels, pay for APIs, or even hire other AI agents. So my first question for you is that why do we need a new kind of financial system for these AI agents? Can't they simply use the existing financial system that we human currently use? And what would it break if that happened?
Right. Uh, well, the thing is that you can use the current financial system. It's like almost saying, uh, instead of paying with QR Pay, right, or bank transfer or credit card in 7-Eleven, why can't I just pay with cash, right? Or coins, or as far back as you go, right? You can. It's just that it might not be the most convenient or the most secure way of doing things. And the way we think about agentic infrastructure and also payments, right, is that there must be something better out there. Some of the problems are the current financial system occur from both the payer side, the consumer retail side, and also the merchant side, accepting the cash or the payment. So, for example, from the angle of a merchant, right, merchants typically need to wait a few days, in some cases even weeks, right, to receive the payment. And that's because typically the infrastructure and also like the settlement layer, right, occurs through many different providers, and it occurs fees as well, and also delays and time, right, in between. So merchants, when they actually sell a product, say in 7-Eleven, they don't necessarily get the the money immediately into their bank account. So that obviously from a merchant's point of view, right, is cash flow that is not available immediately. So merchants want instant settlement. Now for retail, right, and consumers, they want protection, they want convenience, they want security, right? And a lot of these things, right, are simply just not existent in the use case for agents. There isn't really infrastructure for agents to do the same things that people take for granted today with humans and credit card paying online or offline. And I can go a little bit more on why and also the details, but let me know if you want me to continue, or we can explain that in the next few questions.
Yeah, I do have a follow-up question on that, especially on like what use cases and opportunity would we be able to unlock after we, allow agents to act. What kind of commercial opportunity is there, and why the new financial system will be better placed for these use cases.
Yeah, so like the consensus in Silicon Valley right now, right, is that the past 5 years was a mobile first internet. Basically, you do everything on the mobile phone, whereas previously it was like desktop, right? You go to yahoo.com, you go to uh, say amazon.com to buy stuff or to search for things, or Craigslist, right? And then when the mobile era came, right, mobile apps became the number one interface through which people did things on the internet, be it purchasing or getting information. And that's where we see, the tailwinds that brought Apple and also other companies like Google with Android, right, to become very prosperous, very wealthy companies. And that's where you see apps like Spotify, Amazon, Shopee, right, Grab start to rise, right, because people um, did everything to the mobile. That was the last 5 years, but right now in the Silicon Valley, right, the consensus is that the next 5 years would be an agent-first internet. What that means is basically the interface between humans and machines and apps and services, right, will collapse down to, instead of one person using 5 different apps, right? Your Google Calendar, your Spotify, your Shopee, your Grab, right? Into just maybe 2 agents or 3 personal agents, your own personal Jarvis, right? Your Claude, your ChatGPT, that would then be your personal assistant to get you a taxi, to buy you your groceries, to schedule your meetings, to look for the weather, to post on social media. So that basically means, right, we had this expansion, right, from very few apps to many, many apps that people are managing to maybe potentially another collapse, right, into just a handful of applications, mainly through agents. Now, previously, right, when you think about the mobile first internet, payments, for example, was done through applications like PayPal. It was done through, in Southeast Asia, there's like these QR payments. In China, there's, WeChat Pay, there's Alipay. And um, these services, right, don't exist yet right now for the agentic internet. When you say, hey, Jarvis agent, help me book a flight ticket, right, for my flight to Bangkok next week. Right now, the agents are only able to give you the recommended flight and also time and the price, and you have to actually go there and book yourself, fill in the details, put in your credit card, and sign out, right? It's not really a true personal assistant in that sense, right? It's not your secretary. It's more than an advisor that helps you do research on what you should do and buy, and then gives you a recommendation, but it cannot actually execute on that for you. Um, if we have this infrastructure that allows agents to uh, execute end-to-end payments and be recognized as a legitimate actor in the agentic internet on your behalf, then it would really level up, the possibilities of what we can do with the agentic internet. Then you can truly be your personal assistant, right? Your secretary. You can book things for you. You can arrange a flight. You arrange your schedule, top up your groceries at home, buy you lunch when you're too busy in the meeting, buy you coffee, send it to your address, right? So that's kind of where we're looking at. And right now, it's not there yet because the merchants don't realize that the agentic internet is going to be very big. So they actually actively block these machines and bots from purchasing, bubble tea or groceries or calling for Grab because right now these merchants, right, are assuming all machines and bots are malicious bots, are, scammers who are actually stealing your credit card details and buying stuff. So we need identity, we need the infrastructure, we need payments for machines to act on your behalf without being blocked by the merchants so that you can level up your productivity and efficiency in the agentic internet. So that's kind of, taking a step back on that, why the infrastructure is important, why is it lacking right now, and what is possible, right, if we have this infrastructure in the future.
See. Um, it was nice that you already mentioned about the need for agent identity, as well as, potentially permission for this agent to act on your behalf. And I want to jump a little bit to talk about the Kite product. And I noticed that Kite had built three things together, right? Identity, permission, as well as payments, as one integrated system. So I would like to hear from you what the product insight behind that and what convinced you that these need to be one product instead of, integrating different services together, like payment API, existing tools, or, even virtual credit card.
Got it. Yeah. So, uh, so Kite is invested by PayPal Ventures, and PayPal Ventures is one of the biggest investors, and obviously one of the biggest payments companies out there. Co-founded by Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, right? And when you think about PayPal, most people would think about a payments company or like a wallet. But a lot of people in the B2B world or the business world would view PayPal and Stripe as identity companies. And the reason is that if you say have a subscription for Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, and a host of other things, right? And you pay a monthly fee for that. Let's say uh, your bank Visa or MasterCard credit card, right, expires, or you lost your card, unfortunately, then what you have to do, this is from personal experience, right, is that you have to then go to every single subscription service. You need to log into Spotify, you need to change your card, you need to search for like, okay, where did I, where is like the billing section, then you need to change your card. The same thing you need to do as well for Amazon, you need to do the same for Shopee and so on and so forth, right? And it's a real pain in the ass, right? And a lot of the providers, right, don't make it very obvious and easy either to change your billing info, because a lot of them are afraid that you'll just cancel subscription. So a lot of them typically would hide it and make it very difficult, right, for you to change billing information, or especially Amazon in my experience. Um, so if you just did one simple change, which is to switch your payment method into a unified method that is accepted by a lot of merchants, for example, PayPal, right? Pay with PayPal for Amazon, pay with PayPal for Spotify, pay with PayPal for Shopee, for example. And then you would be able to just go to PayPal and then swap out that one card, and then all your subscription providers, right, would update as well. So that's like the beauty, right, of linking identity with payments. The reason that this convenience, right, is possible is because all these merchants and providers view PayPal as a identity bank or source of truth, right, that verifies your identity, knows that you're legit, and also verifies that this payment method was indeed added by you and changed by you. So in that sense, PayPal, Pay by PayPal is almost like an SSO universal login, right? It's almost like login with Google, right? We usually log in with Google for everything. Then for PayPal, Pay with PayPal is almost like the same, but for the payment space. And so that's why, right? It's very powerful to link identity with payments, and it's the two are very interlinked and intertwined. When you use your credit card to make a payment, um, there's a lot of things that happens behind the scenes. It's actually your identity. You got your name, you got your home address, right? You got issuing bank as well. So when the merchant actually takes your payment right through the credit card, it's not just taking your money, it's also verifying that it's not, you know, I don't know, like illicit, illegal money, right? And the bank is the service provider that verifies that you are legit. So when you make a payment with credit card, right, it's also verifying that you are who you are and you're a legitimate actor, instead of I have enough money, so please give me the service. And these are just the infrastructure, right, that happens behind the scenes that people don't really think about, that is lacking, right, in the agentic space, right? Because if you give an agent a card, then this agent doesn't have a name, doesn't have a birthday, doesn't have like a home address, then the merchant might be a little bit anxious, right? Okay, so am I receiving money from a sanctioned country, for illegal activity? I don't know, right? So to be safe, I'm just going to reject all payments, right? That does not have, a explicitly accepted format of identity, right? That is provided by a bank that I recognize, for example, like SCB, right? Versus some bank that I don't even know exists or not overseas. So uh, I hope that answers the question on why identity is important for payments and why it's almost like intertwined and very tightly linked, right, with payments. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Would love to hear your thought on the design process for the Kite product as well. For example, I have tried Kite a little bit, and you have something like Kite Passport that, not just only allow you to make the transaction, but there's also a skills installed into an agent, doing lots of things like, I don't know, discovery, execution. So can you help like walk us through how did you design the Kite product, and yeah, what would it unlock with the beauty of identity and agents that you just mentioned?
Yeah, sure. I think the design philosophy is just like, ease of use, right? Things that are delightful, things that help people, and things that does not necessarily require people to have a very high barrier of entry for use. So when we think about product, right, one of the big things that we always have to think about is also distribution. How you might have a very good product, very useful service, but if you don't have distribution, if you don't have a very easy way for this product to reach the hands of your intended users, then it doesn't mean that you're doing a good job. You know, it's like you have the best car in the world with the lowest price, but if people have to fly all the halfway around the world to say, I don't know, to Brazil in order to buy a car, then you're not really doing a service for the rest of the world, right? You need to figure a way to distribute it. And when we think about agentic and AI tooling, what are the products that have one of the most powerful distributions out there? It's OpenAI, it's Anthropic, right? Claude and ChatGPT that started all of it. And so we think about how do you distribute through the most, widely used and highest growth products in history, ChatGPT. Skills. Skills are basically like apps that, you can install on your ChatGPT. So you literally just you just tell ChatGPT, right? Please install, Kite passport skill, right? And then it will basically download this skill from the internet, and then what you do is you click a link that's provided by ChatGPT or Claude. It will direct you to a website, the Kite website. You just choose your login. It could be Google login. Then you deposit some money. You can do it either through tokens or through fiat with credit card, or debit card. And then yeah, you go back to your ChatGPT and then just say, hey, I want to buy, some snacks, right? And that's actually how the Kite, the team, right, in San Francisco, the Kite team in San Francisco regularly stocks up our pantry with food right now. We just use an agent that's connected to Slack as well. And we just say, hey, can you help us buy some snacks? We need more milk, for example. We need more cookies. And it would just directly buy it from Amazon, deduct the balance that we have in the wallet, and then yeah, the next day, someone knocks on the door and gives us the snacks in the office. So it's very simple, and yeah, I encourage people to try it out and give feedback. It's yeah, it's meant to be easy to use. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's beautiful. I mean, that was one of my questions as well to like ask you about what is real right now and what are the real workflow that people use Kite for. And you just mentioned that your own team use it for ordering snack and pantry through Amazon. What are some other common workflow or use cases? Can you paint us more picture on that?
Yeah, so I think there's around, well, last we checked, there was more than 80, there's probably more now, 80 plus services that you can do through Catch Passport. It's almost like an app store. And apart from e-commerce, right, um, people also do things like image generation, video generation. That's essentially like anybody who has like skills that accepts payments, like X402 or stable coins, we can probably support. So it's an open protocol. It doesn't require us to necessarily, put in a lot of effort to list those services. It's relatively permissionless. So we see people doing image generation, right? Say, hey, I need this poster, for this event, for example, right? This SCB talk, right? And I need the SCB logo, I need a Kite logo. Please generate a poster, right, for this event, for this date and time. And you just tell that to uh, ChatGPT, right? And then you tell it use Kite Passport, right, for the payment, then it would do it for you, right? It would just deduct your, I don't know, maybe like a few cents of a dollar or something like that, and it will give you the image and it will deduct from your account immediately. Instead of you having to click a link, sign up to this third-party service, create an account, deposit money, buy credits, which you probably won't finish using because you only want that one poster, right? Then you have to pay like, I don't know, like $10 subscription per month. And then you create that one poster from this website and then you never use it again, right? So that's like the difference, right, between, traditional way of doing things, with subscription and signing up and all that versus like the agentic internet. It's much more discretized. It's much more like on demand, right? It's much more like tiny units, right? I only want this one job. It's the concept of instead of subscriptions, you pay per job done, right? I want this poster only, and I only want to pay say 50 cents for this done, and I don't need it anymore. Maybe only 3 months in the future, so I don't need a subscription. So these are what's possible, right, for the agentic internet. We're also starting to look into more closely developers and also token management. Right now, developers use assisted coding uh, using coding agents, which burns a lot of tokens. So we're now looking into that as well. Is there a way that we can help developers develop more cost efficiently, provide lower price tokens as well for the compute and for coding tasks and deployment. So that's also something that we're expanding upon now.
Oh, I see. Interesting. That one, is it live right now or is it in the product roadmap?
I think it will be live very soon. We don't have an official date yet. This is probably one of the first times that we're talking about it. Uh, yeah, so we're always expanding our catalog of products and services available, and also timing it with like what is the most difficult pain point, right, by developers and builders or consumers. Um, we already support Amazon, but obviously there's a lot more work to do as well for non-developers and retail users, right? To support other regions, like say, like Grab or Shopee, right? Especially in Southeast Asia. So there's definitely a lot of work to be done, both on like the developer and non-developer side of things to expand the product catalog and services available through Kite Passport.
Actually, that brings up a question for you. Like, what is your view on the strategic advantage that or the market that you want to capture? So you mentioned both developers, non-developers, and global platform like Amazon, and also some regional players like Grab. So yeah, what's the market that you think is important for Kite? And yeah, just want to hear your thought on that.
Um, yeah, so like the agentic internet is still very, very early, right? And I think that people are still trying to learn about it and understand it and also figure out what it means. For us, we're positioned such that we are able to capture, a large slice of the pie of the agentic internet economy when it comes, right? And when I say when, right, I mean like mainstream. So um, right now, at this moment at least, right, it seems like developers are much more open to trying, and also there's a bigger pain point as well amongst developers immediately, with like development and how it could be automated using agentic payments. And I think for regular consumers, right, shopping on Shopee.com or Amazon is still something that they are, they have a habit of. And delegating that to an agent is still a process that I think will take time to go mainstream because people need time to build trust, right, in agents. There are a few reasons why people are still afraid. For example, people don't know what agents think, right? There's no transparency of why it make a certain decision. Why do agents hallucinate, for example? Or why do agents um, do certain things that are not explainable? And that's the reason why we are having this infrastructure around, right? To have these spending limits, these scoped controls, right? To build that trust so that people are comfortable using agents because there is governance and there is like a fallback mechanism so that it doesn't do go crazy, right, with your wallet and your money. So I think that education still takes a little bit of time. Uh, it might be shortcutted, just like how OpenClaw was very, very big this year, early this year, because it just opened up the floodgates, right, of what's possible to be done. And so, yeah, I think in short, right, it's just about being positioned for that wave and being aware of the catalysts, be it uh, from developers or retail, which one is faster. Yeah, it could be due to government policy changes, right? Or it could be something that ChatGPT or Anthropic has done to open it up to more users, right? So yeah, I think it depends on like the environment.
Uh, you just mentioned about trust that people may have concern about, using agents and allowing it more capability. I would like to hear your view on other industry players as well. We know that big players like Stripe are doing something in this theme as well as Google, Coinbase, and etc. And so, are you seeing them as a different competing vision, or are they actually building something on a different layers? And what make them, as well as Kite, mostly differentiated in terms of how they solve the problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the last year, right, there's just been so many protocols out there. UCP, ACP, AP2, you name it, right? And um, do they, apart from protocols, right, there's also different philosophies of approaching the agentic internet. For example, um, Amazon, right, is definitely more closed off in the sense that they only allow certain partners and certain maybe trusted parties, right, to allow Amazon checkouts by agents, and so it's not really an open standard that Amazon goes with. Whereas some other providers are a little bit more open. They're like, if they open up their API, for example, for people to check out. So I think it's a sign that if there's different approaches and different philosophies, right, and different interpretations of the agentic internet, it's a sign that it's very early, right? It's a very early stage because that was kind of like how the early days of AI or the early days of blockchain was as well. Even in the space of blockchain, people were saying that okay, so the blockchain is very transparent. Then some people were saying that the blockchain is very private. I mean, it's kind of both, right? It is private in the sense that the addresses and the wallet addresses are anonymous, but it's transparent in the sense that all of this anonymous data is out in the public, right? So it's kind of yes and kind of no, right? I think for most things as well, for the agentic internet, it's probably going to end up like that, kind of yes and kind of no, right? For a lot of things, right? Um, so it's a sign that the industry is early and is growing very fast. So people are trying to define how it's being done. Uh, there, I don't think there's going to be necessarily only one way of doing it. Just like when we see now, right, with the mobile era and the payments side of things, the US and China have also done it very, very differently, right? In China, it's Alipay and WeChat, which just started off as a messaging app. Um, Whereas in the US, it's much more fragmented. You got your Stripe, you got your PayPal, you got your Venmo, for example, right? And the most used messaging app, which is WhatsApp, right, is not really tied to payments, at least yet, right? Mark Zuckerberg wants to do it. He wants to make, Facebook and WhatsApp kind of like WeChat, but it's just, not there yet, right? The same will probably also happen in the agentic internet, where there are many different ways of doing it, and different people will find different niches, right, in the ecosystem. So to answer the question, right, like, yes, there are different ways that different players are doing it. It can only one of them be successful? Not necessarily. I think multiple of them can be successful, right, in their own way. How how are we positioned for that? We don't necessarily want to compete, right, with the full stack, in the sense that we want to work with everyone. We want to support ACP, UCP, AP2, we want to support Expo2, we want to support all of them, fiat or tokens, right? We want to be as friendly and open and neutral as possible, and work with everyone to capture value and also to build something of value for our users, right, and our partners. So just like how Linux is like, right? Linux is something that's being used by all the operating systems and virtual machines, and even Mac, right? Mac OS is based out of Linux, and it's something that benefits everyone. So we hope to be like that, and yeah, and just like build the agentic economy instead of like figuring out how to be the only and the one and only winner of the whole stack, I guess. Yeah.
Exciting. Definitely exciting journey ahead. So probably this is my last question for this session. I'd like you to maybe leave some last key advice for anyone who want to get started to learning more about agentic payment. What are the things they should be looking at or they should try it out after listening to this session?
Yeah, I think the most easy way is to go to the website gokite.ai, GOKITE.ai, and then over there you can sign up very easily, or you can just go to, yeah, you can search at the instructions there, right? You go to your ChatGPT or your Claude and then just install it very easily with one line. Keep an eye out as well, right, on the website and also on the socials like Twitter and LinkedIn, for Kite AI, for new product announcements, new integrations. Like we say, we're expanding on other infrastructures as well, and other products and services for the agentic internet, branching out from payments. So I would say, yeah, just keep an eye out on LinkedIn, Twitter, and our website. Try it out and give us feedback. We'd like to, improve on the product. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Henry. That was a very insightful and interesting session. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.